Excited that you're here for Important Perspectives. This is a special event. We always want to show the powerful connection between mentors and students and the work that we do. Honestly, our mission is simple. We want to help students navigate life's challenges through group mentoring. And through that mentoring, we're hoping to give guidance and meaningful connections for them to have success outside of high school. So tonight, you're going to get a firsthand look of how we create safe space for honest conversations, growth, and empowerment. But for this moment right now, welcome to Right Moves for Youth.
At all times.
At all times.
I will do my best.
I will do my best
to tell the truth.
To tell the truth.
Obey the rules.
Obey the rules.
Respect myself and others.
Respect myself and others.
Be drug-free.
Be drug-free.
And help others make the right moves.
And help others make the right moves.
For a better life for all.
For a better life for all.
So, what is a healthy non-romantic relationship?
I think my definition of a healthy relationship is communication.
I think a healthy relationship would be like somebody definitely involves communication, like the other said. Basically, someone you could just lean on.
Somebody you could talk to at any time. Somebody's loyal to your friendship. It's a two-way street. It's not just one way.
A healthy relationship involves honesty, trust, respect, open communication between partners.
I want to hear from everybody. You can drop it in the chat, but I would love for everybody to chime in. But what is one word to describe a healthy relationship? Open communication. I agree with that. Boundaries. I love that. Dolores, what you got?
I really believe loyalty makes a healthy relationship because you can't have a relationship, you can't have love without trust. And I believe all healthy relationships have love and they have trust. So you can't have a healthy relationship without trust.
I say that boundaries are important because you're not able to have a healthy relationship with somebody, romantic or not romantic, without understanding what their limits are and what they don't appreciate or what they're not okay with in terms of relationships or like action.
Major, do you want to tell us more about being available? Because I think that's also so true about being in a healthy relationship.
Yes, so being available is sometimes you need somebody there at all times, not just a one-way situation. So sometimes you have to drop all that you're doing and be available for that person and know that you are available. Sometimes when we get into relationships, sometimes it could be one way where you're always available and they're not available. So that can also break trust. And so I think, you need to be available at times that are needed, but you need to also have boundaries about that availability because you don't want to be taken advantage of.
Ooh, Laura, I would have to say engaged.
All right, so I'm going to flip it. I'm going to say, what now would you say, what's a word that creates an unhealthy relationship? And anybody can chime in, whatever you want.
I think a word would probably be hatred. I just think that when you have an unhealthy relationship, they're going to promote hate. They're going to bring hate to your life.
Rain, tell me a little bit about disrespect.
Disrespect, more so, it really comes down to like boundaries. Like if someone doesn't like care about your time or like always wants you to do this, they don't really have respect for you, because in no way are they really showing respect when they just think you can do this, do that, and not have time for yourself.
So Sarah put power and balance. Can we unpack that, Sarah, please?
I think I'm thinking more of when one person makes all the decisions or doesn't, and then it creates this dynamic where the other person is submissive or just kind of goes along, and I think there's a lot of different consequences that stem from that.
I'd say probably like insulting, jealousy, yelling, put downs, all those kind of things. It's not healthy.
how do I deal with that friend then? Because it's not as easy just to turn. Because if you don't have a lot of friends or you don't feel like you do even, what advice can you give to someone to have that mindset like you're talking about?
Probably something on the lines of self-worth. Like you are worth more than this friendship that is bringing you down, or these words that are bringing you down.
So now we're going to talk about individuals in your life that you have a healthy relationship with.
I immediately thought about my daughter, Janita, because when you was talking about you and your son, that's the type of relationship that we have. I think a part of it is because she's an only child and she's with me 95% of the time, I guess, but that being intentional to create that space.
I really have my mom, who I've been super close with my whole life. I'm an only child. My older brother is 32, and my middle brother had passed away when I was 10. So like I only really had my mom and like my best friends. And yeah, I feel like when you find people that you're able to be yourself around, it really just helps you be healed. I don't know, it's people I can go around and I just feel better instantly. Like their energy just helps me.
Say my aunt, because like we're super close in age, but like I'm the only child too, so like she's like basically my best friend and my sister, so we could just joke around. She's in college, I could spend the night sometimes, and I could really depend on her and talk to her, and she's super close to me in age, so it just works out.
Add that I think relationships can serve different purposes.
We talked about multiple different types of individuals that we can have healthy relationships with. I just want to put this out there to some of our Right Moves participants. Does anyone have a healthy relationship with their program specialist?
I could also say I have a great relationship with my program specialist, Miss Ken. She's literally like, I can talk to her about anything. She's took us on trips, and she's helped me make lifelong friends. Like my friend Jordan, she was in the program before. That's literally probably one of my closest friends ever in this world right now. I met her last year, and I still talk to her. I still call her all the time. And I also have a friend group with another person I was in Right Moves for Youth, and I think Miss Ken really helped shape that relationship. And I can be so open with her. We have vulnerable talks with each other, and I really like it.
And I love her so much. We could just she respects our time, like we respect hers. Like you gotta give her her minute and then we get ours. But after, we can just sit and talk, and she listens, and then she gives advice when we really need it. And we could just talk to her about anything we feel comfortable with. So she's just a really cool person to talk to.
I think he's a really fun person to talk with, and he's definitely showing things like scholarships and things that will help me in the long run when I go to college. So I'm very grateful for things like that, as well as the field trips, which are very fun to participate in. But yeah, he's really pushing me in the right direction, and I appreciate that.
Also, it's so on brand, with the topic that we're talking about tonight, which is relationships, because Ms. Ken has really guided me through some of the hardest issues I was having with relationships, friend-wise, relationship-wise. And she's just always a good ear, and she gives me a rational opinion. If I'm in the wrong, she'll tell me I'm wrong. And it's kind of nice to hear that from someone who's obviously older than me and who has experienced more life than I have.
He was my program specialist last year, and I just think that he was he was just such a nice person. And I see him on this call now. I feel like I'm able to comfortably speak to him. I'm able to joke with him. He's the reason I'm in Right Moves for You today. So I just really appreciate him.
All right, so now that we talked about healthy relationships, we're going to talk about the touchy one, the unhealthy relationships. So
I feel like you can genuinely have an unhealthy relationship with anybody. I feel like I used to kind of put that perception that you can't have unhealthy relationships with your parents or people that are over you. Kind of that's just how I was raised. I never really thought that was an idea in my mind.
I think Shelby said it best. It could be with many different individuals in your life. And I think you can rotate in and out of healthy and unhealthy relationships. It's just the time and the moment and the circumstance.
You can also have an unhealthy relationship with yourself.
Let me jump back in. That's a great perspective. And unhealthy relationship with yourself.
I was going to say the exact same thing. You can have a very unhealthy relationship with yourself. Because last year, I'm being a little vulnerable. Last year, I didn't think I was worthy of being in spaces like this, like in a group call, having group discussions about healthy relationships actually being mattering in this world.
Kudos, and also a commercial, right? Like that you were willing to jump into something that you weren't sure of, and it pushed you, and Mr. Rankin introduces you to it, and Miss Ken keeps it going. And this program allows you to kind of flourish, and even when you see yourself not so great, to kind of give those tools and skill sets to you. I think it's really cool because here you are, like a person I consider super ultra confident in a good way, and carry yourself in like excellence. I think it's just awesome. So knowing that that's where you were before to where you are now is like super powerful, and I appreciate you.
If we do have an unhealthy relationship with somebody, how can you deal with it, or how do you deal with it? Because I know it's hard, right? Everybody's been in that space. Everybody's been like, uh-oh, I don't know how to handle this. So what do you do?
Like for me, I would like look at it like from my perspective and then the other person's perspective, and like if I change and nothing happens, I might sit and have a conversation with someone, and if it doesn't happen, then I'll have to like just fade away, because like obviously this relationship ain't better than me, so we just gotta let it be.
Me personally, since I'm a visual person, like me and that individual, we need to sit down, identify what our issues are and figure out what are the best solutions. We need to, compromise at some point. So otherwise, nothing's going to get done.
Once he told me to look at the source, he told me to just identify like who the person that you're arguing with is. Like you don't know their background, you don't know what they have going on at home.
It's easy to assume you know all the facts, so you know why they're acting a certain way.
The first thing I think of is, what can I control?
Because sometimes let me humble myself and take the time to say, hey, can you explain when you said this or when you did this? What did you mean by that? So I can get an understanding versus making an assumption. We want to talk through some ways that we can continue to maintain healthy relationships, or even if we're in unhealthy relationships, how we could some coping mechanisms that we could utilize to either make them better or continue to have our relationships with whomever.
Whatever your day, whatever occurs in your day, find that small win.
It really comes down to choices. The old statement is, or the old saying is, have a good day or not. The choice is yours. Friends, visitors, let me start by looking at our students and thanking the students here. You guys are amazing. This work that we do, where weekly we get together with you, is powerful. Not only are you shaping yourselves into somebody really powerful to change this world, but you're helping shape some adults who continue to do this work with more people across the city. And to our visitors, I hope what you've witnessed tonight has given you a clearer understanding of how crucial spaces like ours are for students that we serve, how they can learn, they can grow, and they can build relationships that uplift them. And picture what you just saw. This is what's really great. Happening in 49 different Right Moves for Youth groups across the city every single week. So it's powerful to see that number of young people being impacted by these mentors that go in and work with them every time. We have a tagline. Our tagline is building better lives through extraordinary relationships. And this is a perfect example of that. And our work doesn't happen, though, in isolation. It takes a community of committed individuals, the staff here, our volunteers, and people who will join in this fight with us, like you, that will make a lasting difference in the lives of these young people. So we want to, if it resonated with you at all tonight, I'm going to invite you into something. I want you to take a next step. Volunteer as a group mentor. Come alongside our staff in a group. You don't lead the whole thing. You just come in and you're a group mentor once a week with these amazing young people. Or you can be a guest speaker and come and share your story. The power of the story is really what moves people. And your one little bit that you may not think is the most powerful thing in your life could really change the trajectory of a young person. And secondly, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, consider making a financial contribution to support these programs. This doesn't happen for free. Our staff is out there dedicating, we're training, we're putting these incentives in front of students so that way they can have the best chance possible. And so now look at the screen and look at those young people. Whether you choose to give your time, your resources, or both, your investment will have a direct impact on the lives of the young people that we serve. And those that you're looking at are the people that are right in front of you that are being served by this. So tonight, we thank you for being here. Your presence was powerful. Your words were great. And your belief in what's possible here is what we use to kind of keep moving forward. So thank you and have an amazing night.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.